welcome our first fighter to the cage, Ewin Salaverry.
We are live at Wembley Arena for BAMMA 6 and the big fights. I'm Malcolm Martin, and it's a pleasure to welcome a man known by fight fans around the world, Mike Chiavello. Mike, welcome to the BAMMA family, and what a great occasion.
Malcolm, it is fantastic to be here courtside with you, brother. Fantastic to be commentating in London for the very first time at the legendary Wembley Arena. And I cannot tell you what a pleasure it is to finally commentate this man, Ewin Salaverry, a legend from Canada. It's been almost 3 years to the day since we last saw him in the ring. May 24, 2008, UFC 84 against Rousimar Palhares, which he lost by first round armbar. Salaverry, as you know, replaces Phil Baroni here tonight on some 2.5 weeks' notice after Baroni injured a rib in sparring. So Salaverry steps up to the plate once more, and as we said earlier, Malcolm, he wants to make right in what could also again be the last fight of his illustrious career.
Mike, we're talking about redemption here in his eyes, aren't we?
We are indeed. Salaverry just has experience, and as you know, he's also got a move named after him. My good friend Joe Rogan refers to it often on UFC broadcasts. The Ewin Salaverry, a crucifix from side control. If there's one move that Salaverry will look for here tonight, it's got to be the move that's named after him.
But Mike, let's get back to the point. 3 years.
It's hard. It is hard for any fighters to come back after 3 years. More so when you're Ewin Salaverry, because let's not forget, Malcolm, he is 40 years old. It's not like he's coming back in his mid-30s, his early 30s, or his late 20s. The man is 40 years old, but he's coming back against a gentleman who is older than him, 41-year-old Matt Ewin. Ewin also coming off a 3-year break, but he had his return recently and he won it. Will it be the same for Salaverry here tonight?
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our next fighter to the cage, Matt Ewin.
So, Matt Ewin coming to the cage, and Mike, I want to pick up on something you said that's important. Yes, he's a year older, but he's had that comeback fight. The rust is out of him. How important do you see that in this fight?
Very important. In fact, Ewin comes in not only having won his comeback fight, which, as we said, a comeback after a 3-year layoff, but altogether he comes in on a 5-fight winning streak, dating back to August 2007. So confident of having that on his record, will play high here for Matt Ewin. And have a look at the look of his face. The guy looks evil. The guy looks like he's ready to eat somebody's baby. He looks on here tonight. That's Matt Ewin, a 41-year-old. And once he peels that t-shirt off, it's the body of a much younger man here, Malcolm.
And Mike, we were talking about this earlier. A man who's reached the pinnacle in this country and might be really frustrated.
And also a very interesting fact here. The last lot on Matt Ewin's record was to the man Ewin Salaverry beat on Salaverry's UFC debut, Andre Simonov, who beat Ewin in just 43 seconds by TKO back in 2007.
Absolute, I love the bird to the roots. I keep coming to you, port spur from the boots. Vigilante.
This is BAMMA 6. It's time for our first scheduled fight here tonight, scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds in the middleweight division, presented by Lonsdale, the official equipment partner of BAMMA. And when the action gets underway, your referee for this contest is Mark Goddard. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner. This man is a mixed martial arts fighter with a professional record of 14 wins, 7 losses, with 9 wins coming by TKO. He stands 6 feet tall and weighed in at 186 pounds. Fighting out of Seattle, Washington, USA. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Ewin Salaverry. His opponent fighting out of the blue corner. This man is a mixed martial arts fighter with a professional record of 21 wins, 9 losses, with 6 wins coming by TKO. He stands 6 feet 1 inches tall and weighed in at 184 1/2 pounds. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Matt Ewin.
The intensity on the face of 41-year-old Matt Ewin. He could beat a statue in a staring contest. Here we go in the first round. What a thrill it is to see Ewin Salaverry back in the cage. But inside thigh kick early on here, Malcolm.
You weren't wrong about Ewing's body. It's carved in stone. As you said, a man half his age would be proud to have a physique like that.
Salaverry, who said in many interviews that he should have retired on a winning note after defeating Art Santore in 2006. Well, he's got a chance here tonight to once again go out of the business, but this time with a win.
And Mike, you feel for Ewing that it's about recognition, don't you?
Indeed it is. Ewin Salaverry is a legendary name. If Ewin was to beat him here tonight, it would make a sound heard around the world. Good outside leg kick. Oh, the counter right hand! And Ewin tagged him smack bang on the kisser.
Salaverry felt that, Mike, and it was only his experience that kept him in that then. He moved away, and then suddenly you thought, did he really punch him? But it was, and it was clean.
It was the first real punch of the fight from Ewin, and it was hard. And you wonder, will Salaverry continue to keep this one up, or will he shoot in and look to take Matt Ewin to the ground?
I think he's going to have to, Mike. We discussed earlier about Ewing having that experience back. Salaverry's taken this fight at short notice. I'm sure we're going to see that moment unless Ewing does something earlier and shocks the world.
You can see there's Salaverry fake the right hand and through the inside thigh kick, nice and high to that femoral profunda artery. There you see Ewin going for high inside thigh. Very straight up stance here on Ewin Salaverry, and he's got to keep the chin tucked. He's got to look through his brow. Otherwise, Ewin could just power through.
Yes, Ewin staying just out of range, but looking menacing the whole time. And his punching, even this early in the fight, Mike, has been very sharp.
I am liking the inside thigh kick, though, of Ewin Salaverry.
Yes, Ewin not checking it. He's going to have to start doing that. Well, you can hear the crowd's response, and I think that's a bit unfair with these two men with so much at stake coming out of retirement like this. This is a respect thing here, Mike.
Salaverry at the moment is heading in the wrong direction, however. He's doing a Beyonce to the left, but he's got to go the other way or he's going to drift into the power right hand of Matt Ewin.
It's a big mistake to make. He's already felt the power of Ewing's right hand. As you said, he's got to go the other way, outside that left leg.
Nice inside leg kick from Ewin Salaverry, and Ewin just biding his time, picking his shots. He throws the jab to set up the overhand right, but it falls short for the 41-year-old. Oh, he catches the kick and leg and counters. Beautiful technique and timing from Ewin.
And you can see the blood on Salaverry's face now. Ewin doesn't want to go down there with him. His game plan is now very, very clear, Mike.
Salaverry looking very stiff, not looking relaxed at all here in the first round. It's a big occasion fight. It's a lot to ask. Coming on 2.5 weeks' notice to replace Phil Baroni, and after a 3-year layoff. Inside thigh kicks now from Ewin, and you can sense, Malcolm, the confidence on Ewin is building by the second.
Well, his game plan, I think, was immediately settled when that first big right landed, and it rocked Ewin. I think from that moment on, Matt knew this was the way to go, which makes me wonder, would it have been the same fight with Baroni stood there? Baroni would have loved this range.
Clash of leg kicks, both men managed to check shin on shin. Outside thigh kick from Salaverry and a snappy jab from Ewin. 1 minute 15 remains in the first round. Set for 3 by 5. Good inside leg kick and a lot of snap now from Matt Ewin.
Mike, I can't help it. Rust, the term keeps running through my head. Ewin looks rusty.
He does indeed, Malcolm. Big inside thigh kick, a little late on the check there, Ewin. The second one gets through for Salaverry. That technique is scoring for Ivan Salaverry, but pretty much it's the only thing scoring for the veteran.
That's right, he does look stiff. He does look rusty. It's just a fact, and Ewing is capitalising, and he's waiting his time, because every time he's landed with that right hand, it's looked very dangerous.
Inside thigh kick again from Salaverry, but he's leaning back as he throws the jab. Never a good sign. Overhand right from Ewin.
Salaverry now, Mike, at least moving the right way now. He's moving outside that left hand now rather than into the right.
Salaverry accidentally clipping himself to the border. He's tipping into the left hand, Salaverry. The punch is nowhere near the mark. Up ends the kicking leg in the final seconds of the opening round. And this one will belong to Ewin. What's up with the dope storefront? Process transactions.
Mike, at the end of the day, you said you felt that Ivan was owned by Matt. This really hurt him, and Matt didn't want to go down with him, did he?
No, he didn't at all. You don't want to go down to the canvas with Ivan Salaverry if you can prevent it. I don't know if it was ownership, Malcolm, but it was definitely a 10-9 round to Matt Ewin. Salaverry, though, not done by a long shot yet, but as we said, ring rust is showing, and so far he looks stiffer than a box of Viagra. Second round about to start. Salaverry, you can see him in the corner, just trying to psych himself up, and Ewin looking confident. Salaverry's been in so many big fights, been in there alone against the likes of Nate Marcourt, Tony Strickland, Terry Martin, Hene Hughes, Akihiro Gono, Joe Riggs, the list goes on.
Well, Mike, I think a less experienced fighter from those two right hands from Ewin would probably be out of there now, because Ewin would have followed up with ground and pound. It just shows that the last thing to go is your experience, your mind. Salaverry had enough in there to weather that storm, but it is dangerous moments for him, because when will he make his changes? When will he change tack?
Ewin just scooping the kicking leg. Salaverry still drifting, though, into the right hand here of Ewin. It concerns me, as it did in the first round.
And now Ewing's adding that chopping leg kick there from his right leg. He's beginning to build it up, Mike.
It is kickboxing 101 here from Matt Ewin. Jab, outside leg kick. Bread and butter combination for the Englishman. Salaverry probing with the jab. Good inside thigh kick from Salaverry.
That's been his only weapon, though, so far, hasn't it? That's the problem. It will score for him, but is it enough? I don't think so by any stretch of the imagination.
Look at the size of the deltoids of the biceps here on Ewin. He is ripped, stripped and striated. Salaverry catches the kicking leg, drops it and then counters.
The other thing you can sense here, though, Mike, is a huge amount of respect between the two men.
Oh, enormous respect. 41-year-old Ewin, 40-year-old Ivan Salaverry. We talk about the range of opponents of Salaverry, but don't forget, Ewin's been in there with Martin Kampmann twice, Travis Luder, Thiago Goncalves, Alex Reed, Mark Epstein, Ross Pettifer. His own list goes on and on.
And I think you've hit on something there. This is why I think Ewin sees this as a chance to get the recognition I feel he thinks he deserves.
It was always an enormous ask for Ivan Salaverry to come back on a fight of this caliber, of such a long layoff and on short notice. But he's still in here, still in the cage and still very game. And that's the thing with Salaverry, you can never underestimate the man's experience, Malcolm.
Well, Mike, again, real fighters as well always want to fight. They don't feel that old inside. It's the same for all of us, but for fighters, you can't lose that instinct. It doesn't just go.
I would like to see Salaverry throw the right hand. Every time he fakes with it, Ewin just gets a little confounded, like he's not too sure what to do with his own lead hand. You see Ewin there momentarily changing levels. He may have thought to shoot down, and the crowd not appreciating the action here.
Yeah, I think what the crowd is saying, Mike, is they want to see someone go for it a bit more, to take a few more chances and take the fight to his opponent. In fact, they're probably thinking both men are too cautious. It's fallen into a very predictable pattern at this moment.
Outside thigh kick from Ewin, and Salaverry returns the favour. Sticking jab from Salaverry. Didn't come close, though, for the veteran. Look how flat-footed Salaverry is. It won't do him any favours in the boxing department. You've got to talk the hips. You've got to turn the shoulder through. Otherwise, you're throwing just arm punches.
But I also feel in Ewin's corner that he's allowing Salaverry to slowly but surely work his way back into this fight. I think, like the crowd, a bit more commitment to his attack, a bit more confidence and throwing a bit of caution to the wind. Unless he does that, Salaverry is growing in confidence. He's working his way back in, as we saw there, his first right hand.
It is a kickboxing contest at the moment. Salaverry has not attempted a takedown on Ewin, which may be surprising quite a few people. But you wonder if Salaverry has the explosiveness in the tank at the moment to be able to get a takedown on Ewin. Ewin just fakes with a jab. He follows through with the next one. Again, putting the knuckles on the nose line of Salaverry that was bleeding at the end of the first round. Both men throw left hooks. It was Salaverry who drew the short straw. Inside thigh kick from Ewin. And again, the crowd not happy. As you said, Malcolm, they want to see someone start to take a risk.
Well, unless Ewin takes the risk, I think he's in danger of losing the initiative that he had. He had the early initiative. Everything was in his favour. I think he's beginning to balance out now. And I think it's a mistake by Ewin not to force forward, because every moment it goes on, Salaverry grows in confidence, and that fighting instinct comes back and back and back.
It was a beautiful uppercut on the inside momentarily there from Ewin. Salaverry's got to go back to the leg kicks here. It's what's been scoring for him. Under 20 seconds remaining here in the second stanza. But look how straight up the stance is here of Salaverry. Unless he leans back and counters with a hook, he's not going to get any knockout power off a stance like this, not out of his hands.
No, it's as you said, Mike, it's all arms, it's all from the waist.
End of the second round, one more remaining. Ewin still looking relatively fresh here as the corner go to work on him. Meanwhile, across the cage, a little bit of blood from the nose of Ivan Salaverry.
Mike, do you think that Ewin may have lost the initiative there? I felt if he'd have pressed while Ivan was still trying to work his way to the fight, he might have had more success.
The way I see it here in the third round, Malcolm, Salaverry has only one option, that is to go to ground. He cannot defeat Ewin standing up. His leg kicks are the only thing scoring for him. The hands just aren't there. The distancing isn't there. The footwork isn't there. He's got to take it to ground and try and put some submission moves, try and do some ground and pound, try and score on the canvas against Ewin.
In a way, you're right, he's just got to go for broke, because he does not want to go out again. He's come out of retirement. He doesn't want to be frustrated for the rest of his life thinking about this fight when he watches the reruns. On a personal level, for me, I'd like to see Matt Ewin step up a gear and really ask questions of him now.
It is all part of BAMMA 6 from Wembley Arena, the third and final round. And they touch gloves. Who will respond? 5 minutes remaining.
Mike, Salaverry's corner will surely have told him he's lost the first 2 rounds. Well, they will have told him, you've got to go for this, Ivan.
No doubt. And you see the huge lump on the nose of Ivan Salaverry. I'm not surprised if maybe that nose is broken and he's breathing mostly out of his mouth now.
And again, Mike, Ewin does not want to go to ground with Salaverry. I think he knows he's not listening to the crowd, and he shouldn't. He's a professional fighter. He knows how he's winning this fight.
He won't be suckered in here, Malcolm. He's clever than that, Ewin. As I said, he's been around a long time. He's fought some of the best in the world. If he doesn't have to go to ground against Salaverry, he won't go to ground.
No, I think you're right. I don't think he needs to. He's winning, not comfortably, but, well, yes, I believe actually comfortably. And he will block that crowd out and continue with this unless Salaverry tries to do something that makes him change tactic. But Ivan has done nothing that makes Ewin even worse. Oh, but having said that, a short right hand from him, the first of the fight, might change this about now.
Chops down for a double here. There's Ewin, and Ewin with the takedown. He wants to go to ground now with Salaverry. Ends up in the top position, inside the half guard. From this position, Ewin can ground and pound.
And that's one of his strengths, Mike, as we know, because it comes from phenomenal endurance as well, and he's still got 3.5 minutes here in which to do it.
Salaverry on his back. He doesn't mind being here. He does have options, but at the moment, you see Ewin smother smothering him. Salaverry trying to put him back inside his full guard, and you were looking to pass on the left-hand side of the body. Now back in full guard. Nice job from Salaverry.
And this, Mike, is when we will really know how much is left in the tank for Salaverry. He's almost given up the back there on a big left hand, and they're back upright once more.
Gonna turn the knuckles in though, Ewin, on that left hook. Right hand from Salaverry, front kick from Ewin. Salaverry turns up and throws a left hook, but it was a sloppy one. 2 minutes and 45 on the clock here in the third and final.
And Ivan is open mouth. Ivan is open mouth now, Mike. He's feeling that pace. He's feeling it now here in the third. I agree with you. It's more even. He is really trying to work, but I think the pace is telling on him now. And again, with 2.5 weeks' notice, I'm not surprised.
Salaverry surviving here in the third. Good cheap kick off the lead leg from Ewin. Salaverry goes back to the inside 5. The crowd again is showing their disdain for this one. They want to see these two men in a brawl, or they want to see action on the ground. But what we're seeing at the moment from Ewin is a cerebral fight.
It's a disciplined performance, Mike. He knows what he's had to do. He's not been asked many questions, and he's had success with this style. Why risk it against such a man when everything is at stake for him? I think he's fought a very sensible fight. You're right, for the general crowd, it may have not been the best for them, but he can't think about that. He's got to think about his record, his career, and his pride.
Russian chance. Salaverry on the balls of his feet now, moving well, the veteran. May he indeed get his second wind. 1 minute 35 on the clock.
Well, I'd like to see in the last minute Ivan go out on his shield if he's going to go out and really going for Matt Ewing, because otherwise he's just drifting to a points defeat.
Salaverry, plenty of head movement, another step across inside thigh kick. Nice and high on that lateralis muscle. But Salaverry's got to dig deep now. It's time to change it up here, Ivan. Shoots the inside thigh kick, pops in the jab. A little bit more snap now behind Ivan Salaverry.
And what frustrates me in a way, Mike, and why I can understand the crowd, Matt Ewing would have won this fight with a very cautious approach.
Outside thigh kick, Salaverry just slipping on that GoDaddy.com logo. Pumps the jab again to Salaverry. Ewin looks to the inside thigh, just above the left knee. Still time remaining here for one of these men to definitively steal the round, for someone to go kleptomaniac, to be a thief of the night, maybe steal this round, maybe steal the fight.
Well, time is now running out, Mike. It's 22 seconds left, and Ewin sticking to the game plan that he stuck to from the opening bell. And I think it's going to end that way, and it'll be very interesting. I feel the judges will only see it one way.
Salaverry is on his last seconds, possibly of his career yet again. Has he got a Hail Mary shot left in him? No. Into the third and final round, we go down to the judges. Have a look at this shot here from Salaverry. Boom, with the right hand to the orbital bone. Just beneath the left eye, and you saw Matt Ewin squint there, Malcolm.
That was the best action of the fight for Salaverry. I wish that he'd have had more in the tank to do more of that, to make Matt come out of his comfort zone, because the problem for Salaverry was he never asked Matt Ewin to come out of his comfort zone. And it's a real shame when he looks back on this.
And folks, more action when we return to BAMMA 6 from Wembley Arena.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of this contest by unanimous decision, out of the blue corner, Matt Ewin.
So the first fight this evening, live and exclusive on Sci-Fi. We'll talk to both fighters. Ivan, you came out of retirement for this, haven't fought for a while. Did you feel rusty in there?
A bit. But glad to be back. It was beautiful. Sorry I didn't perform like I normally do, but thank you for the opportunity.
Are you going to fight again? Is this you coming back out of retirement to right some wrongs?
I hope so. You know, I definitely want to put it out there, so if you could pick me up, all good.
Oh, fantastic. Well, there we go. That is a man who sounds like he is back. Ivan Salaverry. Let's talk to another man who is back. It is a win. It was 3 rounds. 15 minutes is a hard way to return.
Yes, well,
it's a hard way to return, but could have done a lot more. You know, I was just holding back too much. You know, against somebody of that caliber, didn't want to make any mistakes, but I should have pushed it a bit more, really.
The crowd did sound slightly frustrated halfway through. Were you just trying to keep in reserve or try not to get caught like by a man like Salaverry?
It's just fighting someone of this caliber, you know, been out off 2 years as well, so, you know, like coming back into it. I often want to come in here and try it. Boo in and I'll come here and try it anyway, but I don't care anyway, so.
Well, there you go. Is this you taking a tilt to the #1 spot again? I mean, you know spring chicken.
I have to do a lot better than that. That was crap, really, but, you know.
Well, good choice of words, thank you very much, thank you. Put your hands together, he is the winner by decision, Ewin.